Alright guys, so what to expect for this week crypto market outlook? Okay, so we got the Clarity Act looking set to fail or to get rejected. Okay, coming days or coming weeks, of course, there's a 75% chance that we might reject this Clarity Act, but nonetheless, we can see whether the Clarity Act approved or not. Crypto nonetheless will continue to go to where it is right now. Normally, we are already at most likely at the bottom. Okay, and crypto will probably do fine with or without the Clarity Act. Knowingly, we are already almost at the bottom. So we're going to find a range and accumulation. And you notice that no matter how much of bearish movement or bearish sentiment in the market, the crypto market do not seem to tank even more compared to other asset classes. So which means that if another sign, we could probably be at the very bottom. Okay, or finding this ranging accumulation that could lead to weeks, to months, or could be a year from that. Okay, so yeah, what to expect from this Clarity Act? Okay, because nonetheless, whether they will approve it, okay, if they will approve it, the good thing is it is better for those people who are doing the business, B2B, B2C, providing services to the customer that is actually going to allow more confidence, and of course, people who wants to invest, okay, they could have more clarity. Coming in, conviction will probably increase once the Clarity Act pass. But look at it, right? Look here, this is the Chief Investment Officer mentioning that crypto will continue to march even if the Clarity Act fails to pass this week. Okay, all right, so this week could be crucial there. So let's see. And then Senate is scheduled to begin the summer break from 10th of August all the way to 11, which is about 1 month from there. So before the 10th, there could be a high chance of a rejection, right? So I think the market is already pricing in on the 75% chance of rejection. Okay, so look at the market, we are somewhere around like 4K. Yeah, probably we can see setup like this usually tends to hit over, right? So of course, the month of August, after we have seen July's look really rally, can we see another continuation once more for August? That could be also another setup, okay? That could lead to another lower high. And then in the short term, moves from Atkins, SEC are likely to be more crypto and innovation friendly than those that would emerge from the bipartisan bill Congress. So there will even be an asterisk. Okay, so the risk is that a future administration appoint a less friendly SEC chair to reverse them. Right, so this could only happen if the Democratic Party were to take over. Okay, in the next election, if they want, that could be most likely. Okay, that is the only worst case scenario. Other than that, we can see those people who are championing for the Clarity Act wants this to pass as soon as possible. But if you look at the current sentiment right now, okay, it doesn't seem to favor those people who are supporting it. So in a world where clarity fails and the SEC lays out rules instead, crypto will have at least 2.5 years until a new administration could potentially install a new SEC chair, may continue progress. So they have at least 2 years, 2.5 years from now. So that will be around 2022 or 2029, right? Okay. All right. So clarity may be delayed for further review in the fall of winter 2026. So it could be end of this year. And then raising the possibility of the bill being wrapped into a year-end package that forces legislators to vote on an omnibus bill. So I think this could only approve probably next year. Okay, next year, if everything all aligned, according to the rule run as well, I think this could continue to bring in more capital for the market as well. So to approve it right now or not, I don't think it brings any difference to the crypto market. Unless you approve it on the blue run, that's where you attract more capital inflow. Not only from retail, but of course for people who wants to buy via ETFs, okay, like through the hedge fund or BlackRock, this will definitely increase much more. Okay, so most likely, if not mistaken, if it doesn't get approved this year, most likely during the upcoming bull run, that everything seems to be aligned, then that's where there could be a high chance of. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. And then next, okay, so also important is the hardware wallet, your full wallet, right? I think a lot of news lately about this, no matter where you put, whether you self custody or not, it tends to slip up, or people tends to get carried away. Or no matter what you do with your coins, not your keys, not your coins, end up turns out the other way around. So this is an incident, Coldcard. Okay, what had happened with the Coldcard company, and of course their wallet. Okay, everyone had been using this. Okay, all their bitcoins or whatever asset is in there totally lost, 90%. Okay, so total of 100 million across 3 confirmed attack waves from the Coldcard wallet hack. Okay, so this could be a really huge deal because of the setup from their wallet itself. So later on, we will go into dive in deep even more. What are the things why Coldcard wallet has been hacked so bigly compared to other wallets? Okay? So whole wallet, Coldcard wallet incident had exceeded about 100 million, totaling about 1596 of Bitcoin. Okay, totaling about 7,300 address. It's a lot. Okay, now were they able to recover back this stolen Bitcoin? That is another question, right? Unless they hack a big exchange from this Coldcard wallet issuer, then maybe there could be a chance, right? If one of the Coldcard wallet holder is like Binance or Bomb or all those big exchange, then yeah, you might get a higher chance to put back, right? But if you are just a normal person who's holding this, then I think the chances of getting it is quite slim to get back in funds, right? So let's see. Okay, so Galaxy Digital Research Arm said 73 victims had contacted its researchers, and victims report confirmed the first 3 major attacks. Okay, right. So Galaxy Research identified as a suspected port wave that could bring total loss about 2055 BTC, totaling about 130 million. Okay, so 90% of the stolen Bitcoin, the thing is, haven't been moved yet. Okay, including funds attributed to the first 3 confirmed incidents. Now, attacker and victim address have been shared by US federal law. Now, okay, so that's the thing. So if the hacker wants to move, so they will definitely know where is the next spot because it's public blockchain. Unless they use a mixer, okay, like Tornado Cash. Like you transfer the Tornado Cash, use Torchain root, like how those Bybit hackers, the highly well-known hackers, okay, right? The Lazarus group. That's how they do it. They hack the Bitcoin, and then they swap using Tornado Cash via Torchain root, and the address seems to be anonymous or totally different address. So that's the thing. So we're going to see whether or not we will move or will they take this movement. Okay, because every move will definitely count. Okay, so let's see. Okay, and then of course talking about more about the whole wallet, hot wallet, right? The self custody. So people who stored their BTC on Coldcard, what happened is that it got drained. The reason is because of what? Entropy. What is entropy? The seed generation was reproducible. Anyone could recompute their keys. So that means when you first time having this Coldcard, so example like you have ledger, you have to generate the 24 seed phrase password. So this is actually quite normal, right? Every first step, you want to generate the seed generation or the seed phrase, which is 24 seed phrase. Now that's where the red flag is here. Why? It's because their seed phrase is reproducible and can able to recompute their keys by using a quantum computing or whichever sophisticated type of software that the hacker use to guess, okay, every attempt on that seed phrase itself, the 24 seed phrase. So I went through every other hardware wallet to see how they make their seed phrase and whether the same thing can happen again. Okay, so there are a lot. He labeled Trezor was one of the top, makes the device randomless with errors from your computer, and the device has to prove it use both Even if it's chips fully broken, still fine. The best design here by far. Now they are not. Okay, but I think the most common one is Ledger. So Ledger 1 certified chip, AIS31, EAL5 plus. So good randomness, but it's a single source, closed source. So it's not open source. That's the thing. If you look at other hardware wallet, most of it are open source. Right? Most of it are open source. Okay, so this is the only thing about this ledger, that they are only closed source. So you are trusting them completely, but you cannot verify. So again, you're gonna ask me, should I keep everything all in ledger? Definitely not. Right? That's why you need to have another separate hardware wallet. Don't keep everything all in ledger. Maybe you can put some into Binance, Bitcoin, or probably get another one. For me, I get not only ledger, but I already have Tangent. Okay, you can get Tangent, which is the Tangent rate or Tangent card, which is actually quite good. Okay, you do not need to have any seed base. We give you about 3 cards. Okay, right, and you can able to use it without remembering the seed base. So you just need to have the 3 cards or either one of the card to actually tap on the phone in order for you to transfer. So that's the best thing, right? You don't have to remember about the seed base. Okay, and then I do have Safe Power as well, 2 chips mixed together formation. So I do have Ledger, I do have Tangent, I do have Safe Power. So I got 3. So 3 separate hardware wallet. So that actually diversify my risk rather than having one hardware wallet. So this is the thing. Okay, but putting everything all into one hardware wallet also increase the risk. So you don't want to make the same repeat like Coldcard customers or users. Then they got drained entirely. So best if you want, okay, you can get the Trezor if you want. Similar setup as well, like how you set up like Ledger. Okay, but my preference is, if I think majority of you got Ledger, maybe you might want to get a Tangent because you don't need a seed phrase. That is the best. You don't have to remember, you don't have to stop. All you need is just to remember where you keep your cards. Okay, you just need one card to actually tap on your phone in order for you to transfer. Okay, so links in the description box or in the WhatsApp group, send it later. Okay, all those affiliate links that you can able to join, you get some discount on your Tangent, Ledger, or SafePower, whichever, right? Whichever hardware wallet that I put it on the group. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, so you can see here, these are categorized based on the top security. Okay, so the only thing that saves you is being able to check, verify, roll your own dice, verify the words. So the key one is Trezor, entropy sources, MCUTRNG, host computer entropy, mix, SHA256. This is the top, strongest design. Okay, followed by Bitbox, Foundation, Passport, Keystone 3, you will see very solid, right? And then goes to the mid tier, which is your Ledger, which is very common, solid but unverifiable. So that's a question mark there. Whether you still want to keep all into Ledger, maybe you might want to consider. Okay, solid but unverifiable for Tangent. Again, don't have safe power, shadow. So that's the thing, right? Don't put everything all into one, but you might want to diversify your stables to receive into a different hardware wallet. Okay, so you can be able to prevent things like that, like Coldcard incident. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, if you need more assistance, then you can let me know. I'm going to guide you which hardware wallet to set up. Okay, we're going to keep it full storage. Okay, and then latest news by Ledger. So again, we have came up to clarify last week's Coldcard incident. It's a reminder of something in the industry under which randomness is the foundation of self-custody, which make everything built on top of the scheme. So yeah, I think they've been clarifying, saying that the hardware wallet is solid. Okay, and they have a lot of pieces here. You can be able to read it later on, but this is from Ledger's Twitter account, so you can be able to check it. Okay, and you can see every private key you own derives from number 1 seed, like seed phrase, according to CoinKite, advisory and blocks published analysis. Okay, seed generation will probably route through a software PR engine rather than hardware RNG. Okay, And then a big flaw made silently fell back to a software generator seeded from chip serial number. Okay. So a lot of news. Okay. So I think all these hardware wallet is now starting to tighten the security as well. Okay. Starting to improve their whatever system. Okay. Prevent this type of incident like Coldcard. Right. So yeah, let's see. Okay. Okay, so I think for Ledger, they have a standard 24-sig list like other wallets. Okay, you have to store your own secret somewhere. You have to write it, you have to keep it, right? And then I think latest they have the card as well, something like Tangent. So they recently upgrade to the system as well. So we're going to see how it goes. Okay, and then moving on next with on-chain. So we can see coming in from CryptoCon. So we get it up about 3 hyper-accurate moving average for the cycle bottom, okay, the cycle bottom tracker. Some may say that the bottom is in, but that would mean not a single one. This moving average could touch this cycle. Let's see. Okay, so where are we right now? Okay, so we're at 64K, isn't it? So the green band would actually give us around 49K. The red one will give us about 42, and the blue will be around 32. So if we compare to the previous historical cycle, we should get at least one more final calculation. Again, that will intersect with this 3 line together, and then it will consolidate for the whole year, I believe so. And then finally bounce back up again. So that could be a take flow. So their positions vary from cycle to cycle. The lowest one has always been reached or at least tested. So the lowest this cycle volume is 30,000, while adaptive and market cap are 42 and 1. Yeah, so as the market continues to progress, we can see the bands are also moving up. But to go to 30K, I don't think so. Maybe around 40-ish, 40 sub, 40, 50K probably seems reasonable to actually get to dollar cost average and to at least go some towards end of this year as well. Okay, so there will be a lot of opportunity. You don't have to actually buy now. Okay, but what you can do, you can start getting your dry powder, which is your USDC. Stand by. Okay, and then plan your DCA. How much are you planning to go in or plan to buy? You can go on a weekly basis or monthly basis. Then talk about sentiment. Bitcoin sentiment is now in a historically deep inflow. Right? That's why retail is not here. Everyone is scared. So the positive to negative commentary ratio has fallen to 0.54 since July 31st. So which means bearish BTC comments are nearly double bullish ones across Twitter, Reddit, Telegram, crypto channels. So let me see here. So Coldcard headlines are driving the trust shot, while MicroStrategy headlines added another pressure point. Right? Why? Because it sold 1638 Bitcoin last week. Another fight again. Now, July 31st to August 4th, nearly double the amount of bearish Bitcoin comments compared to bullish. Extreme fear, right? Isn't it? So probably should we see the bottom could be very, very soon. Okay, so remember that the Bitcoin fear gets is one-sided. Panic sellers often exhaust themselves, while strong hands wait for forced selling dip to high quality of a deep price. Yeah. So we should see some bottoming situation or deep buying by whales to push the price back up again. Okay, push the price back up. So I think that could probably push for some relief later on from the sentiment to clear out. And then next, okay, so what's my invalidation for being bearish? This is by calling talks. Okay, consider pivoting from bearish to bullish if only Bitcoin does this. Number one, begins making higher highs and higher lows. That is the number one sign. Higher highs and higher lows on which time frame? A lot of people don't know. Only on the weekly and monthly. Always respect bigger time frame. Right? Because on the smaller time frame, right? Okay, on the smaller time frame, it is just noise. So you want to check at least on the weekly to monthly to see the trend channel have changed from sell to buy. Okay, and then number two is what? Break out from the diagonal trend line. Connects the top with the lower highs and on the way down. Okay, so it needs to break the bearish trend line. That is a key there. And then number 3 is what? It's back above the 100 daily moving. So currently it's down. Until then, the trend is clearly down and hasn't changed. So broadly speaking, and based on many metrics, I took a percentage-based metric, time-based metric, on-chain metric, which is a CVI as well. So to me, it looks like there's a good chance we have one more leg down, and the bottom isn't in yet, which I also agree. I would expect one more, but like I said, the market can do the opposite. Okay, so we don't have any high expectation, but according to the last historical 4-year cycle, it does run as well. So for the 9K, it's a decent level support. And it's my single guess right now if I have to make a single guess instead of a range of 40 to 40. Quite reasonable, quite realistic, right? Instead of giving you hopium, instead of shilling you hope and hope, okay, that this is already the bottom, that we're going to new all-time high very soon. And this thing is making sense, okay? These are the pieces that we want to follow. Not some other perma books telling you, oh, the bottom is in, and we're going to hit all-time high 126K in the next coming weeks. Oh, the Ethereum is going to 26,000 in the upcoming months, like Tom. Right? So you don't want to hear this kind of people, but you want to really make sure that everything does align, does make sense. Are they being realistic or not? That is the key there to actually stay in the market. And then more from Polkadot perspective. When you get bad news and the price doesn't move much, you know you're getting close to the bottom, which is also very true, right? So you can see Cold Wallet, Coldcard hack, MicroStrategy sold. Where are we now? We're still around 64K, isn't it? That didn't really down much. If not, you'll probably go below 60K already with this type of sentiment. So what we saw, multiple crypto exchange failed, right? 3 crypto exchange already closed short, sunset. And then Coldcard security failure, resulting in tens of millions of dollars in lost user points. And then MicroStrategy sells hundreds of millions at the point. Okay? So bottom is close, something the bottom is already in. I think it's yet to come, but not far. Yeah. Very, very soon, like I said, I already told you Q4, prepare. You don't have to buy now. Okay, but prepare your stables. We are really very close to find the bottom. Okay, so like I said, September or early October, you've got to really have the dry powder standby. You don't want to wait last minute again. And when the bull run comes, then only you want to do it. So you don't want to waste that kind of time. You want to prepare right now. Okay, you're going to prepare Q4. That means October, you already set, you already have your budget, you have your stables ready to actually attack. Okay, to know what coin that you really want to buy, to really hold it for the next bull run, the upcoming bull run. So you don't go and waste your time waiting for the bull run to come, then only. Right, so you waste a lot of opportunity. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, and then talk about airdrop. So statX, TGE, most likely coming up next. So I've been doing this airdrop. Maybe you might want to pay attention. Okay, so they posted this on X. Okay, so when final halving, definitely looks sound of TGE to be next. Okay, so this is also another perpetual DEX like Hyperliquid. So I think there are a lot of these companies that are coming up with this special to pump engagement for those users. So you've got to be very, very careful as well. Which are the projects that you want to move from? Okay, because not all this type of perpetual DEX tends to reward users. So we have seen the likes of GRMT have already started to turn their back against their users. So that could be a very concerning case as well moving forward. And then coming in from Velvet Capital. Okay, so currently the airdrop was about 1.14 mil. Right, so yeah, I think you got to do some tasks here if you want to join. Okay, but I'm not sure whether I will be joining or not after this. Okay, 10th of August, I'll be late for this. This is a short campaign. Yeah, so like I said, if you are joining at the peak, another lesson to them, never ever join something that is already at the peak or towards the end of the peak. So you're going to waste a lot of time and the risk is higher than okay, so don't bother to even join. And then next is Squid Router. So Squid Router is actually a decentralized DEX cross-chain solution where you can able to bridge from one chain to another chain. And now their token is already live. But the only part is that they also throw their users under the bus. Supposed to reward the airdrop, but they do not reward the airdrop. the mistake they had on token sale, right? So all those users who have burning fees, they get nothing, right? So everyone is like not happy, isn't it? They've been burning fees on swapping, and then they came up with the initial offering, ICO, like public sale. So now they have already launched, this is the thing about airdrops. Okay, having no expectation next time when you want to do this. And then moving on next, talk about the coin market cap. So we have 2.19 trillion. Bitcoin is at 64.3. We have ETH 1.8. Solana 73. We have Hyperliquid at 57. Right. So gainers for today. Pump.fun 11.24. We have Uniswap as well, 7.53. We have Zcash 7%. Airdrops 4.5. So all these price now stepping to ready. Top 10. Let's see later on. And then technical. If you have any questions, feel free to put in the chat box and answer it later on. So let's move on next with the dominance. What's happening now? Dominance. Okay. Monthly still below. This next level 59.79 is a level to break. And then of course the middle band as well 60.41. Okay. Look at the weekly time frame now. What is weekly doing? Down consolidation, looking set to break higher. So we're going to see the middle band and its resistance now 59.4. Then we look down to the daily time frame. You can see already now break up again for daily. So we should see the dominance starting to claim again 59.51. And then on H4, you can see a nice W pattern form. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs again. Okay. So it needs to close above here for this week. Closing above here, you're going to see 59.5 next. Now, then, ETH against Bitcoin. So ETH against Bitcoin, you can see. Okay. So this is the middle band here. Okay. Palm down, descending. So far, for now, only failed to break past below the middle band. Rejected again. So this month, showing a bearish candle. So should we see another downfall, it will be this level here, 0.02683. Leading up to this lows here at 0.01964. Look at weekly. Okay, so we can see already what's happening. Candlestick change of direction from sell to buy, pullback. So this pullback most likely to retest here, 0.02870. If not, we're probably going to go down again. We test on this low at 0.02571. Okay, so all eyes on the weekly. Can it able to maintain here? If not, we're going to go down this low. If yes, probably going to retest back this level here and continue higher, 0.00315. Look at daily. See, daily also broke below the middle band. So now consider trends change from buy to sell. So here will be the next level to watch. Okay, BTC 64.3 now. So let's see. Even the S&P 500 as well have hit a new all-time high, which is also quite concerning right now. Okay, non-stop going up. So the next one will be here 70.2. Will be the next re-entry sell. Okay, so a lot to cover here for BTC. And this level 67K. 67, 70K. And then your support is here for now, 58.3. Look at weekly. Okay, break, pullback, consolidation, sideways, and then probably we're going to look here. 65,776. Okay, 65,776 is the next level. So we're going to see this level here on the middle band as well at 60. Okay, then on the daily time frame, what do we see on the daily? Break, pull back again. Now we're testing on the middle band. So should we see more momentum towards the upside? That will take BTC at around 66.1. H4, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, but you can see the consolidation is here. Should we see a breakdown from here? The market tends to get adjusted, then the next level is 63.6. Okay, if not, they'll continue to go higher. Then probably it will test back here, 64.7. Okay, for BTC. Okay, so far overall it's closing inside the Bollinger Band. So you need to be very, very careful there. Then on Ethereum, 1869. So if you look into the money time frame. Now the money time frame, as you can see, the price here is at 1547. Consolidation, sticking on the critical support, pullback. And then on, this is the re-entry sell at 2041. So most likely it might continue to retest here. If not, we're probably going to retest this lows. Of course, all this level again get tested here at 1.2. Now we look into the weekly time frame. Here you see still getting rejected on the middle band. So it needs to break past 1930, okay, for the weekly time frame. If not, 1547 is next. Look at daily. Okay, you can see here. Break below the middle band, pull back for the entry sell, consolidation, sideways. So it's waiting for the next move now for daily. And then on H4, what do we see now? Consolidation, sideways. See here? Sideways, ranging. Not sure where is the direction it's going to be for ETH. So we're going to see, and very, very careful here, because the longer the sideways, the bigger the break. If you look at daily and weekly, it's looking set to go down. Daily's set the entry sell. So we're going to see, okay, especially on the stock market as well. If the stock market goes up, maybe the chance for crypto to also rally as well. So moving on next with the altcoins. Okay, so what we have. So let's see, pump.fun. So rally, pump.fun. Okay, so see here. Oh, went up. Monday. Look at Monday here. 0.8970. Currently about 72%. All-time low is at 6%. So this was a low, isn't it? So had you bought the low here, and up to now it's about 120%, 123%. So it's about 1x, 1.2x, okay, on the low here. So this low was at June. I think it's going to be a long sideways consolidation. Then here will be the resistance. And the next one here probably around here. So 0.1921921. Look at weekly. So weekly, what's happening? Lower lows, lower high, lower lows, and then suddenly break. And then you're going to watch here. The previous resistance now turned to support. So where's the next resistance? Here, 0.02616. So already broke from the bearish trend channel. Now the only key is that can it able to maintain this level of support and then continue sideways, and then continue higher. So that could be an early sign there of a relief rally or early accumulation breakout. And then maybe we're going to see a long consolidation for pump.fun. Look at daily, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So far overall it's bullish for this. But I think probably the rally could be ending there. So maybe August will be the last. And then leading up to September all the way to December. Okay, I think probably we can see price most likely to hit the. So done with pump. And then we're going to go up Zcash. We're going to go up with Zcash. Look at that, 518. So Zcash still maintaining its trend towards the upside, very, very solid. Got 568. And of course, this level here as well, 514. 568. Right, and then this level here on the middle band at 240. Okay, so there you go. So set up here. 246. Okay, and then you can see a down, descending, consolidation, sideways. Okay, and then it's looking set preparation probably to have another rally. If not, we'll probably create another lower high again. Or to retest back here at 593 before the lower. Okay, now look at daily. So the daily time frame you can see descending, downtrend, now break up above the middle band, change of direction from sell to buy. So we're going to see a confirmation again, just a pullback. Maybe give you about here, 484. With any chance before hitting higher, or else most likely test at the top limit 564. H4 as well, also you can see trending is already up. Maybe it could be a pullback coming in. So your pullback probably we're going to give you around this direction for a retest. So there will be around 507 for a retest, for a re-entry, or heading higher. If you want to really catch up with the trend for Zcash. Alright, so what else? I think there are a lot. Some of them are really nice as well. I'm going to look into Polkadot last. Okay, so Polkadot, you can see here, 84 cents. Now look at that, $56 was the all-time high, 25. So you can imagine, 98% drawdown. Okay, 98% drawdown. Look at the monthly, look at that. So all-time low actually, 70 cents. Look at weekly. Okay, so yeah, like I said, this type of points, you have to be very, very careful. You cannot have emotional contact because you're going to hold all the way from the bull run till now. This is the consequence. Next level is the 1.06. So 84 to 1.06. It's a value here. Okay, so yeah, this will be next level to retest. Look at daily now. Daily, you can see what's happening. Dump, pump, candlestick change of direction. So short term is only uptrend, but if you look on the bigger time frame, it's actually already down so much. Now coming back down, reversal candle form. So a retest back to 1 cent. If not, we're probably going to go down to retest all this extreme low again, 75 cents. Look at H4. Higher highs, high lows, high highs, high lows again. So the next level is here, the middle band at 82 cents. And then if you fast forward to the bigger time frame, look, it is down 98%. Okay, so all these outs are actually down. So it's pointless to actually accumulate right now. Yes, even though the reward is higher than the risk, but you have to take note. Is this coin have any conviction or not? When you want to buy, do you have the conviction to hold for the next bull run? Did you study about the tokenomics? Did you go to their Telegram, Discord, community? Are they active? What are they building? Right? Problem is people don't. Okay, they just buy without doing any proper homework. Okay, so when the developers dump the coin, you end up, you are the one holding it. All the business is it. All right, so that's all I have for tonight.